So my name is Kurt Smith, and I'm the Director of Public Safety and Security here at Lindenwood University. I spent about 20 years in law enforcement. I served in several different capacities. I was a field training officer, I was a DARE officer, and as a caveat to that, I think one of the reasons that they thought the job was a good fit here for me was because of the training aspect. I think that had been sorely missed in the past, and I was able to bring a lot of great things to the table in that regard. I was actually teaching at the police academy, which I do part-time, and one of the officers that's no longer here had told me about this spot. And in the meantime, I was working in conjunction with Dana Worley through the career services and LinkedIn, and she shot my resume over to Mr. Russell, and we talked and went through the process like that. I oversee about 17,000 students here at Lindenwood, about 4,500 students that live on campus. And then I'm kind of the quarterback of the office. I deal with issues with crime, theft, parking issues, and other tasks through email, situations that pop up that need some type of supervision. Well, the security officers are much like police officers in respect that they handle all the calls for service, so consequently they're dealing with lockouts and parking issues and trying to set up if we have an event that's coming on board. And then the work in conjunction with them because of my duties are kind of intertwined with Terry Russell, who's the Dean of Students. I'm up in his office a lot dealing sometimes with student issues as well. And so the work and learn to kind of answer the phones, take messages for me, keep the office clean. And if it's a graduate assistant, she actually makes the computer entries for the tickets that we write and the parking decals that we sell. I love mostly working with a team of very dedicated officers that I get to see every day. And I enjoy the interaction with the students. I think it's important that they know that we've got them covered, kind of have their back, so to speak. One of the things that I considered paramount when I first started was identifying places that were being underutilized so students could park there, and I was able to do that. I identified the Scheidegger Center, some parking across the street. I petitioned for additional parking over by Harmon, and then also over by the Welcome Center. And since those areas have filled up, it seems like some of our parking problems have kind of subsided. What I would like to see ideally, and I've talked to my boss about this, is a dispatch center 24/7, go to a radio system as opposed to a walkie-talkie system, and have somebody in the office 24/7 that can actually log the calls, monitor the calls, and then disseminate those calls accordingly so that we can track those things better and also offer superior customer service. We're looking into a new dormitory that's probably going to come to fruition in 2014, where they're tearing down some of the older housing across there near Cunningham and those type of locations. And that's going to probably present a 600-person dormitory and possibly a parking garage. I would try to find a more efficient way of getting some of these other departments to communicate with us. I know a lot of things here are done old school and were done in the past under the direction probably of Dr. Spellman, but as we grow, we have to grow with the times. And one of the things that I did last year was proposition for a new police vehicle that it said Lindenwood Security because it gives you more awareness and a feeling of comfort with the students instead of pickup trucks that are probably ancient and quite frankly, I think all of those things add to the mix for us becoming a more professional department and being out there. So I would continue to hope to be able to move in those type of directions. Well, a couple things I identified right off the bat. I thought that the department was in dire need of some female officers, so I was able to bring a couple female officers on because I think that gives the female students a level of comfort and awareness with them being here. I instituted a case number system so that all the calls where we could pull a report number, we'd be able to document that and offer some type of tracking system. And then also, I think communication is crucial, so we have a pass-on book that we try to use to be able to disseminate that information, particularly if it's something that's of a danger nature. I don't want to put any of the officers that work with me in harm's way. So we can pass that information on from shift to shift. If you look at the demographics, I can tell you that a department like St. Louis University has probably 40 sworn police officers and they have 7,000 students. Just to draw you a comparison, we have 17,000 students and 14 dedicated officers. So I would hope that on those ends we could really ramp the numbers up, beef up the security. I would like minimally 4 or 5 people on a shift, maybe even look into some sectors, maybe branching the calls out so that everybody has a specific zone they goes to, and then we can rotate that around. But I see it continuing to grow, and with the growth, you're going to have added problems, and those problems have to be dealt with accordingly. And I think if you can staff them properly and have the right amount of people in those specific areas, you'll be able to make that a great fit.